donde near Winslow, Arizona. A place called Delcon. That's where I'm actually from. I've been in education for quite a long time, and I'm glad that I made a choice to be in this field. Because education is probably the best weapon that we have as Native people. And it's a powerful tool. And I'm all glad that we're here today talking about how we can work together and bring it about a quality program to effectuate change. Change is inevitable. It will happen. And we have to be a part of that change process, for the good, for the bad. At Navajo, we're embarking on making systemic changes in education. It's been challenging. It's going to take a lot of work. As superintendent of the school, it's my job to get our Navajo people to understand why we need to do a better job. The educational system that we have on Navajo was brought in by different governments. Federal government first. All kind of research, documentation that they didn't do that good of a job. They failed. Just look at the numbers, look at the statistics. There's a report that came out in 1969 led by late Senator Ted Kennedy, a national tragedy in Indian education. That was a wake-up call for a lot of our congressional leaders that the government has to do a better job. The state public school system that we have, they came in 1958. Started off with Winter Rock Unified School District. Then others came about. There are 260 schools on Navajo, serving about 90,000 students from kindergarten through 12th grade. That's quite a large number. So as a nation, as a government, we're very concerned about the kind of education that is being delivered. Ever since the federal government signed a treaty with us in 1868, because of the suffering, because of what we had to sacrifice just to be let free from Fort Summers. And we faced a lot of struggle. We faced a lot of challenges over the years. A lot of people echoed along the way that we have to do better. We have to become strong. We have to take this education seriously and use it against the government. And that's why we're always talking about education. Our Vice President made a very clear statement as to where we need highly skilled professionals, have water issues, have environmental issues, sovereignty issues, land issues. These are humongous problems, ladies and gentlemen. You're at the tribal level, dealing with these things where you have to deal with all kinds of laws and bureaucracy and power. Sometimes you feel helpless. Sometimes you feel that, golly, I wish I had 100 lawyers around me to deal with these things. And sometimes we fall short because we don't have that technical expertise. And what makes it more important to really understand the problem, not just by reading or through research, but understanding the problem as it really exists within our reservation. Knowing the language is key. Knowing the culture is key to really articulate clearly as to what needs to be done. If that language is not there, it's pretty darn tough to get your message across. It's pretty darn tough to convince a Navajo person who doesn't understand English. If you haven't, especially if you have an interpreter on your side, Here you have this brown skin and you look like a dinette. Or you have somebody interpret for you. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to them. Why is that? They say. Well, somewhere along the ways, our education system did a disservice to us. So this time around, we have this big plans in transforming education to where we want to build our own education system. And we're working with the Bureau of Indian Education to start that process. And it's going to take a lot of political muscle. We just had a meeting with the governor of Utah this morning, where we told him that we need you as our partner. We need you through this law that they passed called the Utah Indian Education Act. We just don't want it to be showcased. We want that law to be used effectively to bring about major changes in education where those numbers about graduation rate, dropout rate, low academic achievement can be turned around. And every time we take a look at this stuff, it's really disheartening to see numbers that shouldn't be there. And so it's about time that we bring in the state governments, the federal government as our partner so that we can do a better job in educating children. From Head Start, we have to do a darn at the Head Start level. Because research has shown that a child learns about 80% will learn for the rest of their life from birth to age 5. So if you don't do a good job right there, for the rest of their life, they're going to struggle. They're going to always be playing catch-up game. The way things are back home, and we have young children, practically high school kids, having children that don't know parenting skills. So if they have that kind of deficiency, how are they going to help this precious child become strong and intelligent? So there's these kinds of problems that we have. We didn't create that. I mean, the federal government put us on a reservation with practically no infrastructure, no tax base, no economic base. So to do anything, it is hard. So I'm glad that you're all here. Young people going to college and university and the different colleges here. I'm really glad that I was asked to be here. It's always exciting for me to get back to a university environment. I was a faculty at Northern Arizona University in the College of Education. Navajo Community College, way back in 1992. Changed the name in 1996, 10 years. I worked at another college at Bellingham, Washington for 4 years. And worked with the Institute for Higher Education Policy out of Washington, D.C. So it's an exciting field to be in. So when we came on campus today, I felt very much at home. It's always fun to be on the university campus. And so we had a wonderful meal. Thank you very much for the hospitality. We will definitely continue to work with you. We're just over the hill at a place called Winter Rock, Arizona. Thank you very much. Go ahead.